A couple of animals died for me being stupid as and selfish and not going vegan overnight. But let me ask you this, man. Like you said that you.
Can I ask you a question really quick before you continue? Is it
But
okay for
there's
you
a
to,
question on the
is it
table.
okay for you to ask the person that like say like stupid when you're trying to like interview the person? I don't really think that's like the best interviewer move.
I don't know about that, man. I'm saying it's stupid to abuse innocent
I know,
beings.
but it's also like,
Do you agree that it is stupid to abuse innocent beings when we have another option?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Sure, but then you agree. So, hey, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Happy to hear you're doing good, man. So, let me ask you something. Do you think animals deserve moral consideration or not? You think it's fine to like just abuse animals and stuff like that?
No, they definitely deserve moral consideration for sure.
So it would be wrong to like abuse a dog or something like choke a dog or something like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you personally eat animals?
Yeah.
Do you think that's morally problematic, or you think it's fine to just stab animals to death and eat them and stuff like that?
I think that the ways in which our country kind of does it is kind of wrong. I think that there's ways to eat animals. I think that, you know, as humans, we have like the choice to do it, but I definitely do feel guilty for sure for eating it most times.
You say that there are ways to do it. What kind of ways are you talking about? That you would find it ethical to do it?
So some people actually have farms and they raise animals on their own, and then they have a good connection with these animals from like birth to death. So right now, like people are the factories are mass producing, you know, animals and then just really just fattening them up so that they can sell them. So it's really not it's not beneficial to their quality of life.
Gotcha, man. Gus, it's on, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you something, man. That way that you're picturing that you say it would be like humane or ethical to do it. Let's say we were to replace animals for humans, and we would like raise humans in small farms and then stab them in the neck at the end of their life and turn them into sandwiches. Would you say that would be ethical to do that to humans?
Well, honestly, right now we're kind of at the one of the top of the food chain. See, if there's another one, like another species of animals that's ending up doing that to us,
But
like
that specific question right there, like let's say that way that you're saying it's ethical to do farming with animals. If we were to do that with humans and kill humans and turn them into sandwiches, would you say it would be ethical, and would you pay for it? Yes or no?
I wouldn't pay for it. I don't necessarily think it's ethical because I guess it's different species, but yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Or you wouldn't do it, okay. So let me ask you this. What do you think is true of animals that if it was true of humans would make it okay to do that sort of thing to humans?
Can you repeat that?
What's true of animals that if it was true of humans would make it okay to do that sort of thing to humans?
Me lo puedes repasar porque
Yeah. So I'll ask it a little bit differently. Look, what do you think is the morally significant difference between us and animals that justifies like stabbing animals for sandwiches but not humans?
Well, I mean, animals would do that to us if given the opportunity. There's a lot of animals that, in terms of like a survivalist mentality, they have to eat something, and sometimes if they don't have food, we're gonna be their next meal. So, and it's not because like they hate us or we hate them or we think they're better than them or they think they're better than us. It's really, hay que comer, and sometimes you have to eat, and like if whatever's around, you're gonna have to do it. So there's not necessarily something always different, pero there's like a certain situation where in a survivalist mentality, uno va a comer siempre.
That's not true of all the animals we eat, right?
Yeah.
We farm herbivores like cows.
Yeah.
There's some omnivores too, but like a cow wouldn't do that to you, right? So, but you say like some animals would do that in a survival situation. Let's say that we found a group of humans that would do that in a survival situation. Let's say there was mentally disabled humans that couldn't like reciprocate rights, and they were like they didn't have moral agency to the degree that we have. If we found humans like that are mentally disabled, would you say it would be fine to kill them and turn them into sandwiches, those like mentally disabled humans?
No, not at all.
That would be a contradiction there, because
Yeah.
you said that's the thing that makes it okay to eat animals but not humans. What then do you think is so different between us and
Mentally
animals?
disabled? What? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, it would be a contradiction because you said that the thing that makes it okay to eat animals and not humans is that animals cannot reciprocate rights, and they would eat us in a survival situation. But in the case of humans that would do that as well, you wouldn't be fine doing that to humans that are mentally disabled.
But animals, we were never talking about animals that were mentally disabled. So si estamos hablando de like humans that are mentally disabled, that's just pulling something like right out of the air.
But that's not what you mentioned when I asked the question.
summarize it.
Because I asked the question, what's so different between us and animals that justifies killing them for food, but not us. And you said because they would eat us in a survival situation. But
Not every single animal. There's animals that would eat us in a survival situation. Like there's a bunch of wild animals that would eat us in a survival situation.
and there are some humans that would as well, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that there are definitely humans that would do that
But
too.
would it be fine to farm those humans?
It wouldn't necessarily be fine, but like, you know,
Then that's what would entail the contradiction right there.
yeah, that I don't understand how there's a contradiction.
Yeah, because you said that the thing that makes it okay to stab animals and turn them into sandwiches because they would eat us in a survival situation. But if we found humans that would do that in a survival,
That's just one aspect of it. It's not necessarily always right, but like we've all been conditioned to eat animals from the very get, so it's kind of hard to break that from desde nacer que we're getting fed, you know, meat, like not necessarily right after, but at least as a Latino, like I never really got fed a vegetarian diet, a vegan diet. Eso nunca era importante. So like we're all conditioned to think like that.
do you agree that it is a good thing to question traditions and to
Yeah,
aim to make the world a better
Yeah.
place? And you said that animals do deserve moral consideration. So I'm just testing your values and seeing why do you think it's justified the thing we do to animals. And because I do think that being vegan is a moral obligation. I think being vegan is the right thing. Not being vegan is bad. Do you disagree with that?
I don't necessarily. So, in my opinion, this country makes it really hard to be vegan, like especially in whatever area you're in, because sometimes there are certain supermarkets that are in somebody's area. Uno no tiene carro, no puede llegar para allá. So, and like that supermarket that's the farthest is the most expensive, but the best for your health, and it's actually gonna give you vegan products. Not everybody in this country like learns how to be vegan, cook vegan, you know, agarrar los nutrientes, like vegan style. Acá, like, we're all, like, conditioned to eat animals. So
I understand what you're saying. So can I ask you something to test your logic on that? Let's say like everything else was equal, but instead of eating animals, you were eating humans right now. Would you go vegan overnight, or would you still pay for human sandwiches because it's inconvenient or it's like a little difficult to go vegan? What would you do? What do you think it would be the right thing to do? To go vegan or to keep eating humans?
In esa situación, you're phrasing it like la moda is to eat humans.
Yeah, everybody's eating humans around you, and
So,
you had a
si
choice.
eso es la moda, like
It's a
todo el mundo
tradition,
lo
yeah.
está haciendo, todo el mundo, like the same way that we're all eating animals.
So the
and
question is
nobody
this:
thinks about it.
would the right thing be would the right thing be to stop eating humans or to continue eating humans because it's a little inconvenient to go vegan?
So yo lo digo como que like obviously not eating humans, pero
That would be the right thing to do.
just to not eat humans, pero si es una cuestión de like
Even in English, by the way, to not
Sorry
confuse the
about
audience. No worries.
if we're all conditioned to eat humans, like let's say life is different and we eat each other instead of eating animals, like who's gonna like there's gonna be vegans, there are gonna be people that don't want to eat humans anymore, the same way that there are people that don't want to eat animals anymore. Like it's a thing that is always gonna happen. It's something natural that'll happen. So somebody pushing against the grain, like going against what naturally like people are conditioned to believe, that's a natural thing that'll happen. So
But in that hypothetical, you said that the right thing to do would be to stop eating humans and go vegan.
yeah.
But right now, are you also saying that the right thing to do is to go vegan instead of continuing to pay for animal products?
It's not always so paying for animal products, pero is it still wrong if somebody like raises the animal and then does it for their like?
Well, would it be right in the human context if somebody raises the human and then stabs the human when it's 15 years old and eats the human? Would that be wrong?
I think it would be wrong, but I feel like there's a distinction with human.
That's why I'm trying to find out what is the distinction that makes it okay in the animal context but not in the human context.
So there's a lot. So right now we're kind of conditioned that there's like domesticated animals, and then there's animals that we can eat, and then there's animals that we don't like how they look, so then we kill them. So I don't necessarily think that like, a veces, excuse me, I'm trying to not mix the English and the Spanish. I think that. ¿Me lo puedes repetir? I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I asked you what's so different between us and animals that justifies doing that to animals but not to humans. And you keep mentioning something about being conditioned, but you agree that because we've been doing something for a long time and we were raised that way, it doesn't make it okay. Like slavery,
Right,
we were
agreed.
conditioned to think slavery was okay. That's not okay, right?
So I definitely do think that being vegan is like a beneficial thing for the environment, for society as a whole, obviously for
the animals,
animal society. Right? Yeah, exactly. Pero también it's hard for anybody in this country to kind of go vegan because it's like smoking, it's like drinking. If you have a vice, if you have something that like you've been doing for a while, it's gonna be hard to kind of break that. So
What
you
do you
definitely
think?
have
Let me ask you
to.
something about that. What do you think is? Who do you think has it harder? You, if you were to go vegan, or the animals like right now in the factory farms, living in like literal hell and being like stabbed to death
Whether I
and
go vegan or
tortured?
not, whether I go vegan or not, nothing's gonna like not necessarily nothing's gonna change, but like just because I go vegan doesn't mean the animals are gonna stop dying. Doesn't so.
Well, there's gonna be less animals dying because you're gonna be one less person giving your money to it.
Agreed,
Like I
but
can test your logic with that also. Like let's say everybody was like raping children. Let's say it was like a tradition to rape children, and let's say it wasn't gonna change. Would you also rape children, or would you not do that?
Obviously I wouldn't, pero.
Exactly. Then why rape animals? Why torture animals? Kill animals? Stuff like that.
Oh, coño, I wasn't talking about raping or killing animals.
Well, most animal products come from factory farms. Animals are raped into existence. Basically, it's like the process of artificial insemination. I don't know if you've seen like the standard practices. It's like they breed them into existence through artificial insemination, right? And they get tortured. Sometimes they, without anesthesia, like they remove body parts like the tails of the pigs, the beaks of the chicken, and then they get killed. And sometimes in gas chambers. Sometimes they throw in a grinder like baby males. So it is horrific.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
So how do you think like this? Where do you think the solution comes from in terms of like getting vegan options to everybody in the country? Like también, there are people that can't even grow their own products, or there are people that don't have the ease to go get products that are vegan. So what is your solution for them?
I am agnostic on that. That is difficult to go vegan for people. Like most foods, like most the cheapest of the foods out there are all like plant-based foods, like stuff like rice, beans, lentils, potatoes. Most people have access to that, if not all. So, but the change starts with us. By the way, the change starts with by us demanding most of those products. If you go and buy plant-based products, they're gonna start supplying more. So it starts with us. Like with us, stop paying for animal agriculture. We're gonna be one less person paying for animal agriculture. The more people stop paying for animal agriculture, the meat industry is gonna eventually die out, right? Especially with like technologies like lab-grown meat and stuff like that that are around the corner. I think the future is gonna go vegan, but it starts with us. We gotta change. Like the world's not gonna change if we don't do anything about it.
I don't think that the world is gonna go vegan because there's people that like think about Wagyu beef. Think about like Iberico ham. Like these people invest so much money to get such a like high quality product, Dike, and like people spend so much money on these because like they like it so much. But I don't think those types of people are gonna be changed. I think there's always gonna be a variety of people that are gonna be vegan.
So that's an empirical question. I don't know. Like I'm an optimist about it. I think the future is vegan.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna be because of like environmental reasons. Like animal agriculture is like stupid as fuck. It's horrible for the environment. It's bad for your health. Like there's gonna be like technologies around the corner like lab grown meat and stuff like that are gonna make the meat industry obsolete. And obviously it's good for the animals. And as people start waking up to the ethics of it, like people are gonna start going vegan. I think the future is vegan. Whether or not that's true is a separate question, right? But I think it's gonna be vegan. But regardless of whether or not the future is gonna actually be vegan, you can be one less person supporting that with your money. So why support like those horrors with your money if you can just go vegan?
Well, honestly, I think it's hard to go vegan, especially like making like a vegan recipe. There's people like I'm from New York, so it's hard to get time to come home after work or after working out and then actually cooking myself a meal or like trying to find the most vegan like healthy for me option.
But I asked you earlier, so I asked you again because you didn't answer the question earlier. Like I asked you, who do you think would have it harder? You going vegan and inconveniencing yourself a little bit more because you're going vegan, or the animals that are in factory farms and stuff like that? Who do you think has it harder?
I really don't think about who has it harder because like if part of me thinks that since I try to be as morally ethical with animals rather like as opposed to eating them, I really don't think about that at all.
I know you don't think about it, but right now, picture yourself in their position, like being hang upside down, stabbed in the neck, being put in a gas chamber, and horrifically like dying like that.
Yeah,
Who do you think would have it harder? You doing like this in the supermarket and grabbing the plant-based option instead of the.
It's not as easy as that.
It is easy, man.
People don't make as much money as you might think, and like at least in my area, you think that these are the cheapest options.
Rice, beans, lentils, potatoes are not cheap.
Not always, no. Especially like in areas like in the Midwest where, ingredients like that will definitely cost you more. Or, imagínate, I live 20 miles away from the nearest supermarket that's gonna sell me that, but I live 5 minutes away from a 7-Eleven. So what am I gonna do? It's not as easy as just going to the store and picking the right option.
I don't think you haven't tried it. It is easier than you think, especially if you think about the victims. For people that are not selfish and they actually think about the victims, it is easy as hell to be vegan. It is easy. It is as easy as doing this and grabbing something else in the grocery store and going vegan.
And I'm saying like getting to the grocery store, there is a lot of food that's discrepancy. People have such low opportunity to get the right ingredients. So that's what I think about.
Sure, but you said that if we were to be eating humans instead of animals, and you had the option to go vegan, you would go vegan, right? You said that.
Yeah.
But you haven't been able to point out a morally significant difference between us and animals that justifies doing that to animals. So it follows logically that you should go vegan, and it's wrong to not be vegan.
It's not like I've never tried to go vegan, pero it's definitely difficult. And if you want to compare it to the situation between me and another animal, obviously it's going to be harder for the animal, pero I'm a human being and I think it's going to be hard. I have tried it. I try to make, motions to it, pero like you said, in the future it's going to be vegan, but it's also a process and it's going to take time. And there are going to be people that started off not vegan and they're going to have to switch up, and you have to be patient with them and give them grace. The same way the people that have been vegans for 10, 20, 15, whatever, like that didn't happen overnight.
How many more? If you're saying it doesn't happen overnight, let me ask you this. Put a number on it. How many more animals you want people to kill and torture in your name? How many more?
Can you repeat that question?
How many more animals you want people to torture and kill in your name?
I don't explain.
Animals are being tortured and killed in the animal agriculture industry, right? So I'm asking you, how many more animals you want people to kill and torture in your name? How many more?
I guess that's a difficult question to answer.
But can you put a number on it? I'm just asking for a number.
It's hard to kind of give you a number because I really don't.
How about 0?
Well, it's not like I'm gonna stop eating animals today.
Why not?
Everything is a process. Not everything happens overnight. Did you stop eating animals overnight?
I stopped in 1 week. The right thing to do would be to stop overnight. It was wrong.
You had a number of animals that you killed too to get to the point where you stop killing animals, right?
So but my friend, if you were eating humans right now, you said that you would stop overnight. It wouldn't be a process, right?
Let's talk about animals, though.
But can you answer my question?
How many animals?
Please don't skip my question,
no,
man.
But I just asked you the question first. How many animals did you put the number to before you finally quit?
Well, I went vegetarian for a week before I went vegan. That was a wrong move. I should have been vegan overnight. It would be the right thing to do. You don't need to make my same mistake, man.
No. But how many animals did you kill? Like how many were killed in your name?
I'm not sure about the number. The dairy industry, egg industry, it would be like a couple of animals. A couple of animals died.
I'm also not sure
for
about
me.
The number.
A couple of animals died for me being stupid as fuck and selfish and not going vegan overnight. But let me ask you this, man. You said that you.
Can I ask you a question really quick before you continue?
There's a question on the table.
Is it okay for you to ask the person that say stupid as fuck when you're trying to interview the person? I don't really think that's the best interviewer move.
I don't know about that, man. I'm saying it's stupid to abuse innocent beings.
I know, but it's also
Do you agree that it is stupid to abuse innocent beings when we have another option?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Sure, but then you agree. So you said that you would go vegan overnight.
Finish this.
Sure, we can. Sure, but
I'm trying to get
sure, man. But you said that you would go vegan overnight if you were eating humans, or would it also be a process?
If the whole world was eating human beings.
Bro, please don't dodge my question.
You want to let me
You
answer
just dodge my question.
Let me answer
It's a yes or no question.
You want to let me answer it?
It's a yes or no question.
Let me
So
answer it?
let me re-ask it because it's a yes or no question. You started rambling about something else.
No, I was going to give you the answer.
So the question is this. I'll re-ask it one more time. If you were currently eating humans, would you go vegan overnight or would it be a process for you? Process or vegan overnight?
If the entire world was eating.
That doesn't answer my question. Do you have to start with you don't have to start with a conditional. It's two options.
Que dar la respuesta, please.
So you're gonna dodge my question?
No, let me give you the answer. If you don't want to get the answer, that's on you.
I'll re-ask it because you're dodging, by the way. So the question is this: if you were currently eating humans, this is the two responses that you can give to this question. Would you go vegan overnight and stop eating humans, or would it be a process for you and you would slowly stop eating humans?
Can I give you my answer?
Sure. What are those two options? A or
I
B?
can give you whatever answer I want. So I'm gonna give you.
So you're gonna dodge the question.
No, I'm gonna give you the answer. Pero
Sure, answer. Sure, answer.
If you don't let me answer, then we can end the interview. Cool?
Sure. If you're gonna dodge the question, I'm not interested in speaking to you anyway.
No. I'm gonna give you my answer. Pero
So A or B? A or B? Are you gonna stop eating human? Would you stop?
You can cut the interview.
Would you stop eating humans overnight, or would it be a process
I'm
for
gonna give you
you?
my answer. Pero if you're
A or
asking
B?
for A or B, that's not the answer I'm gonna give you.
So you're gonna dodge.
That's not the answer I'm gonna give you.
In other words, you're gonna dodge, right?
That's not the answer I'm gonna give you. I have an answer, but
So if you're gonna dodge, I'm not interested in like wasting my time. But anyways, have a good time, man.
Thank
Just think about the victims, man. Stop abusing animals, bro. Seriously.
Thank you.
Good time, man.
Thank you.
Just